How are things in hyper time? Hi guys, Keeter64 here, and today we're going to be talking about the releases for January 2022. Happy New Year. We are in 2022. We made it, guys. We made it to 2022. There's actually some pretty good releases this month. There's some stuff that I'm actually looking forward to picking up. With that being said, here's two things that I picked up from my last video, or from last month that I picked up. And of course, they're two Steelbooks. One was the Roger Rabbit Steelbook, which I did a video on if you want to check that out, and the Street Fighter Steelbook. So I picked up both of these. Nice Steelbooks. Looks like I'm probably going to be picking up at least one Steelbook this month, so we'll get into that. For anybody who's not checked out any of my previous release videos, the way I do this is I split them up by category. We have new releases, we have older releases, Steelbooks, and special releases, and sometimes we'll have TV releases. Although I don't really have anything for that section for this video. And these are just my picks for things that are coming out. There's obviously a lot of movies that come out. There's no way to really do a video on every single movie getting a physical media release for the month. But I pick a lot of the mainstream stuff, some stuff I'm interested in, some things that I think are interesting that I want to talk about. So that's what this is. Also, before I get started, just to let you guys know, I'm trying two different templates here. There's one template that I'm using for my new release movies, and by template, I mean it's got an overlay. It's got me smaller, so if you don't want to see my dumb face, that's the one I would vote for. If you actually like the other version, it just has down in the corner, like this, has this down in the corner where I have the Blu-ray or 4K down in the corner. So one is this, gives you the bigger version, and so it all depends on which ones you want. I've tried both of these in the last two videos, and this time I wanted to put them both together and see which ones you guys prefer. So let me know in the comments which one you prefer. With all that said, let's just go and jump into the new releases. I've left you hanging long enough. First section up is new releases. First up, we got one of the biggest movies of the year, and that is Dune. Dune is getting a 4K release. I am excited about this one. I'm probably going to get the Steelbook, which we'll get to in the Steelbook section. But I am excited to check this out on 4K. I did watch this in HBO Max. I do have a large screen that I watched it on. Definitely the bigger screen you can watch it on is the way to go because of all the wide shots in this movie. The atmosphere, Denis Villeneuve is great. I love all of his movies. As far as atmosphere, he's the master of atmosphere. He's the current master of atmosphere. I like Dune. I thought about doing a review on it. Reviews may be coming back here or there this year. I don't know. I didn't really do much last year. That's how I started my channel. And maybe I'll be sprinkling in some reviews. Who knows? But Dune 4K, if you have not seen it, I would recommend it, especially if you're a sci-fi fan. I believe there's actually a 3D version that's actually coming out too. But really, I just want to get this on 4K to see, because I know that the picture's going to look better than what you're going to see on HBO Max. You're going to have those that nice HDR and those deep blacks for Dune. So I'm interested in getting this one. Next up is Halloween Kills. I've commented before, I'm not really a big horror fan. I appreciate some of the slasher movies. I'm more into Friday the 13th than Halloween. I like the 80s slasher movies in particular, but not a huge horror fan, so I probably won't pick this up. I've heard some mixed reactions on this one from people I know who are horror fans, and some of my friends who've actually checked this one out. Might be pretty good. I will say that the box art is not that interesting. Next up is Spencer, which is a Princess Diana movie. I don't know really anything about this other than that, and that Kristen Stewart's in it. I'm not a Kristen Stewart fan. I don't really like her acting. I know there's a lot of people who do. I'm just not one of those. So, but if anybody's seen Spencer, I'd be curious to know what you guys think about it. Next up is a movie called Mass, which apparently I think this whole movie takes place in like one room with these people having a discussion. The only reason I know about it is because I think Chris Stuckman did a review on it. It might have been somebody else. I do follow a lot of reviewers who actually said that they liked it, that they thought it was pretty good, pretty interesting. This is definitely something I would never check out in theaters, assuming that I still went to the theaters on a regular basis. Just not really that type of movie, but it might be a decent movie to sit down and watch at home. It's kind of like a Marriage Story. If you ever seen a Marriage Story with Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson, that did have a theatrical release, and then I think it was released on Netflix same time. Not really something that I would want to see in theaters, but for sitting at home, I thought Marriage Story was pretty good, especially when you're going into something without any expectations. You want to come out feeling like you didn't waste your time. Mass, apparently, from the reviews, seems to be that kind of movie. Next up is Last Night in Soho, and this is an Edgar Wright movie. I am looking forward to checking this one out. I haven't seen it yet. If you're unfamiliar with Edgar Wright, I picked a couple movies off the shelf that he's done just so you guys you probably have heard of at least. Scott Pilgrim, one of my favorite movies. Hot Fuzz, one of the best comedies. This is a Steelbook too. Nice. And Baby Driver, one of the more recent movies. Most likely, if you've never heard of Edgar Wright, you probably at least watched one of his movies because he's done some great movies over the years. He also did Shaun of the Dead. There's the Edgar Wright trilogy, Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and At World's End. So yeah, he's done a lot of movies. I am a fan of Edgar Wright. I am very interested in checking out Last Night to Soho. Like I said, I haven't seen it yet. The 4K is coming out. There's another movie called Games Called Murder, and it has a nice box. That's what I could say about it. It's got Ron Perlman. I don't know anything about it. A very colorful box. Let's go back to Last Night Soho and see. See, this is how you do understated colors. And then you go to this, which is just over-the-top neon. That's what I'll probably remember about it more than the movie, is just the box. I don't know if it's any good or not, so I'm not trashing the movie because I've never seen it. I would be interested in seeing it. It seems like one of those kinds of movies that you'd just watch in the background when you're watching TV or something. Addams Family 2 is coming out. I did not see the Addams Family. A lot of people say this kind of tries to be like Hotel Transylvania, the Hotel Transylvania movies, which they're okay. I like Genndy. I think his name is Genndy Tartakovsky. He's the guy who does the Hotel Transylvania movies. He did Samurai Jack, so I really like his style. He also did the Star Wars Clone Wars, the original animated series, not the 3D version. So he's not involved in this. And when I was a kid, I watched the Monsters. I was a Monsters fan over at Addams Family fan. So I probably won't be checking this one out. But I'm just surprised they even made it 2. Must be pretty cheap to make. Or the first one did really well. One or the other. The Daijin. I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce that. I probably sound like a complete idiot. It's certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes, but so were several of the other things on this. And Rotten Tomatoes means absolutely nothing to me. The scores on Rotten Tomatoes are just pointless at this point. But the Daijin is coming out. Looks like a good horror movie if that's something that you're into. Black Friday, which has Bruce Campbell and Michael J. White. Wow, Michael J. White is in this, and Bruce Campbell. Looks like it'd probably be kind of like Cooties, if anybody's seen Cooties with Elijah Wood and what's his name from The Office? I'm blanking on the actor's name. But that seems like that's kind of the feel that I get just from the box art. I haven't seen a trailer or know anything about this. But if it's got Bruce Campbell, it's going to have some comedy in it. So that could be fun. Antlers is another horror movie that is coming out. Again, not really my type of movie. It is produced by Guillermo del Toro, so that's kind of interesting. They put it on the box. Not that really means anything. Being produced by anything doesn't necessarily mean they had any kind of creative input in it, but he's a big name, so you might as well slap it on the box while you can, I guess. Weathering with You, which is an anime. I've been getting more into anime over the last couple years. I never was an anime fan before this, but I've been getting more into it. This apparently was a movie that was released last year on Blu-ray. When I say last year, would it be 2021 or 2020? I want to say 2020, but this is getting a 4K release. Apparently the original release did not, it was just the Blu-ray, so it didn't have a 4K. So that'd be cool if you were an anime fan. Check out that movie. Next up is older releases. This is fairly self-explanatory as well. These are releases of older movies. All right, we're segueing to my other template for the older releases, and then we'll go back to my previous one Again, looking for votes on which one you guys prefer. So we got Pirates of the Caribbean on 4K. Yes, it is getting a 4K release. I believe this is actually a new transfer, so it should look pretty good. They're not releasing the other two, which I guess gives credence to the fact it's a new transfer. Don't quote me on it because I didn't look it up. But the fact they're just releasing the first one could be that, or it could just be that everybody knows that the first one is the best one. I have the Blu-ray right here. I own the first 3 Pirates. Actually, I think I own the 4th one, although I never watched it since I bought it. And the 5th one, well, you know, it is what it is. Yo ho, a pirate's life for me. I love Pirates of the Caribbean. I specifically the first one. It is a great movie. I do have the movie poster, the original movie poster, up on my wall, and it's because it's a great poster. It's a great movie, and I always have fun when I watch it. I might actually get this. I do think they had a big missed opportunity. They should have done a steelbook with this release. There's no steelbook for the 4K release. Come on. Give me a steelbook, guys. Next up, we got The Great Escape with Steve McQueen. Yes, I've actually seen this movie before. Yeah, I've seen it. I am cultured. I am very cultured. The Great Escape's actually a pretty good movie. It's also referenced in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, where Leonardo DiCaprio basically misses out on being cast in The Great Escape in place of Steve McQueen. They actually insert Leonardo DiCaprio into a scene from The Great Escape. I thought that was really cool. Just interesting trivia there. I actually will probably pick this one up because I haven't seen The Great Escape in over a decade. I remember watching it when I was a teenager, and I was like, this is a pretty good movie. So yeah, I'm actually looking forward to checking that one out. Cool World, which I think it has some fans. There are some fans of Cool World out there. I'm not one of them. I don't like this movie. I really don't like this movie. I never even heard of this. And then we got it in a Blockbuster when I worked there, and I was like, "Oh, this is interesting. It's got Brad Pitt and it's animation, so it's gonna be like Roger Rabbit." No, it's not like Roger Rabbit. It's like budget Roger Rabbit mixed with Fritz the Cat. It's terrible. It's a terrible movie. I can't believe Brad Pitt is in this thing. But yeah, it's getting a Blu-ray release. All the movies to get a Blu-ray release, they're going to do Cool World, really. Speaking of which, I am working on a video. I actually got a stack of DVDs down here in the corner, and I'm going to be doing a video on DVDs that need Blu-ray releases. So that'll be coming out soon. Some Like It Hot with Marilyn Monroe is also getting a 4K release. Wow. Nice. Jumped all the way to 4K. I wonder if we even had a Blu-ray release. I said I was cultured, but I'm not that cultured. Juice is getting a 4K release. That's pretty cool. I remember I watched that whenever I was younger too, but I don't remember anything about it. I guess it didn't really stick with me as much as The Great Escape did with Steve McQueen. I remember watching it with my dad. So something else that's getting a release is Liar Liar, and this is a 25th anniversary release of Liar Liar, and they're selling it for $16.99, so $17. Okay, I got Liar Liar right here. This is the same transfer that the Blu-ray is, and I paid like $5 or $6 for this thing in a bin a few years ago. So I'm assuming it's been out of print, which is the only crazy reason why you'd want to try and sell this thing for $17, $16.99. It's a great movie, don't get me wrong. I mean, it's one of my favorite Jim Carrey movies, is why I own it, and I've seen it many, many times. But $16.99 seems kind of overpriced for a re-release of a Blu-ray. But if you've never seen the movie, I would still pay. I'd pay $17 for it. It's pretty good. Again, another anime movie. Akira is getting a 4K release. I have not seen Akira. It's on my list of animes to watch. Candyman 3. What's it called? Day of the Dead. I didn't even know they made it to 3. Somebody might be excited about that. I mean, did they even do the? This is just the Blu-ray release. This might be the first time this is being released on Blu-ray, but okay. Candyman. How are things in hyper time? God, French Stewart's hilarious. Clockstoppers is getting a Blu-ray release. This was on my stack of movies down there one of my DVDs that was down right there. It was right there. And it was included on my, why are these movies not on Blu-ray? Well, now it is. It's coming out on Blu-ray. 2022. This is what we're getting. Clockstoppers. These are the gems, the Nickelodeon gems we're receiving. Clockstoppers. Obviously, this is a time capsule for the 90s. I'm just gonna say that. I'll leave it at that. I'll probably talk about it a little bit more in my DVD DVDs that should be on Blu-ray video, because I'll mention it again in that. But yeah, Clockstoppers getting a Blu-ray release. I was shocked to see this was getting a release. Bad News Bears. This was the remake with Billy Bob Thornton. The original one with Walter Matthau that movie would never be made today. But it's funny. This one is not quite as funny. As far as like remakes go, it's really not that bad. It's okay. It's okay. And I thought this already had a Blu-ray release, so I'm pretty sure this is a re-release. Dreamer is getting a Blu-ray release, and again, I don't think this ever had a Blu-ray release. I don't think I've ever seen this. It's got Kurt Russell in it. That's kind of cool. Mallrats Arrow release. This is actually a remaster. I own the Blu-ray right here. I am a fan of Kevin Smith's more independent movies. This was a second movie following Clerks, and there's a theatrical and extended version on this. Don't ever watch the extended version. It is terrible. It's a terrible version. So there's one instance in which I think the studio said, hey, you might want to recut this, and he recut it, and it made it way better. I do like Mallrats. Obviously, I own it. I might actually get this Arrow release. I might actually pick this one up. Not 100% sure. It is a new remaster, so it might look pretty good. Next section is the Steelbooks. I told you we'd be back to some Steelbooks. Hey, we're back to our old format. Yay! And the first thing we're going to be talking about is Dune 4K. Look at this 4K. This is how you do a 4K. I like the minimalistic stuff on the 4Ks. I like the use of negative space. I like not just having the poster, unless the poster is premium. If you have Drew Struzan doing your poster, then put that Indiana Jones Steelbook. You ruined yourself with those terrible white Steelbooks. Why didn't you not just use Drew Struzan art? But regardless, I'm going to segue out of this. Dune on 4K. Steelbook. This one I want to get. I think it's not... I can't pre-order it. Best Buy once again has it blocked right now for pre-order, so maybe I'll be able to pick it up day of, kind of like how I ended up with Roger Rabbit. I have a feeling this one will probably sell out pretty quick. There's a lot of Dune fans out there, and Steelbook looks pretty good. That's the one I'm going to go with. Now, the Steelbook for Halloween Kills looks a lot better art-wise than the Halloween Kills 4K. But again, it's not really my type of movie, so I'm not particularly interested in it. They do say it's limited edition. Roger Rabbit, they said it was limited edition, and that never made it to stores. So if you actually want this thing, try and do what I did. Go on the morning of the release and try and see if you can order it through Best Buy's website. Juice is also getting a Steelbook release. A kind of interesting movie to decide to do a Steelbook release. I wouldn't have called that. But yeah, Steelbook of Juice is getting released. Punisher, this is the 2004, I think this is a 2004 Punisher movie with Thomas Jane. I think it was Thomas Jane that, I haven't seen it since it released. But the Steelbook looks really nice, and it looks like it's got a slip on it. So let me rock this back and forth. So this appears to be what the Steelbook looks like with the slip off, and that's what it looks like with the slip on. So I do like that. And you even have a picture of the back of the Steelbook, which is nice. And that also looks pretty good. A lot of times, a lot of Steelbooks will waste the back of their Steelbook. But no, they didn't waste it on here. It actually looks pretty nice, and I don't own it, and I haven't seen it since 2004. I probably would be interested in it. How about a Ben Affleck Daredevil Steelbook? Give us one of those. That's what I want. Requiem for a Dream is getting a Steelbook release. I've actually never seen this movie. I know, shocking. It's a pretty mainstream release, or a big movie. A lot of people talk about it. Yeah, just never got around to seeing it. But it's getting a Steelbook release, and once again, it's got that slip. It's got the eye, and then you pull it up, and there, the eye goes with it. And I just wanted to mention this, Dexter New Blood, which is the it's not a rebooted, the new season of Dexter after it's been off the air for like a decade. I'm interested in seeing this because I haven't seen it. I really hated the last couple. Well, I didn't like the last season of Dexter, and I really didn't like the last episode. Really the last couple seasons of Dexter. So I haven't seen this yet. I am interested in checking it out. It's actually getting a Steelbook release. There is no release date for it yet. I just wanted to throw it on this list because this is something that I might actually pick up because, again, I haven't seen it. I don't have Showtime. I've got enough streaming services. I don't need another one. Next up is special releases. These are just special releases and collections. So, Spider-Man trilogy on 4K. This is apparently a re-release from 2017. I didn't even realize that that Spider-Man trilogy was even released on 4K. I must have completely missed that. So yeah, this is getting a re-release. Now I already own the Blu-ray. It's like a book. So it's okay. Yeah, I'm a Tobey Maguire fan. I like the original Spider-Man trilogy. I think there's even a lot of redeeming aspects to Spider-Man 3. If you want to know what I think is the worst Spider-Man movie, it's Amazing Spider-Man 2. I think that's worse than Spider-Man 3, but that's just my opinion. That is my thoughts on that. But I might upgrade to a 4K. I don't know. I think the Blu-rays look pretty nice. The other special release I want to talk about was this. It is a trilogy of documentaries. Now, if you've watched my channel for any length of time, I do talk about documentaries from time to time. I like documentaries. I like watching them. And I actually own not quite a bit. I do have a small shelf for documentaries that I like to buy. I don't own any of these on physical media, so I might actually pick this up. For the Love of Spock, which was a documentary done by Leonard Nimoy's son. A really good documentary. I've seen it. Back in Time, about Back to the Future. I know just about everything. I've seen every special featured, every documentary, and whatever about Back to the Future because it is my favorite movie of all time. So I've seen Back in Time, obviously. And Ghost Heads, which is about Ghostbusters fans. As you can see, there's a theme. All three of these are really about the fans of these particular franchises. Back in Time, in particular, I think is more in aspects of, it gives you a little bit more behind the scenes than the other one than Spock does, but all of these are basically documentaries about the fans and the franchises and the fans of those franchises. I like Ghostbusters. I would not say I'm a super fan of it like I am Star Trek or Back to the Future. I'm a big Star Trek fan. I have ships back behind me. I have lots of Back to the Future stuff. I got a DeLorean and a bunch of other stuff over here. So I actually am going to pick this up, I think. I think this is a good deal for 3 documentaries. I'm excited about this one. VHS Massacre 2. This was released in 2020, so I gotta get used to saying that's 2 years ago because now we're in 2022. But it's apparently getting a Blu-ray release. This is a trauma documentary. This is the second VHS Massacre. The first VHS Massacre, I'm not exactly sure when that was released, but I have seen it, and it was actually a pretty good documentary about, VHSs and rental stores and stuff like that. I even mentioned the VHS Massacre documentary in my Blockbuster the last Blockbuster documentary video that I did. I did a review on it, and I talked about some insight in what it was like to work at Blockbuster, as well as the documentary. I mentioned the VHS Massacre and Trauma, both of those in that video. I have not seen the sequel to VHS Massacre, and I didn't even know there was one until I started putting this list together. So yeah, VHS Massacre 2. I'm going to check it out. So that is it for my picks for January 2022. 2022, man, I gotta get used to saying that. And we are on a roll with these release videos. This is the 4th one I've done. I started doing them again in October, November, December, January. This is my 4th one. Yes, let's see if we can keep stretching this out. Let's see if we can keep doing this every single month and hopefully building on it. And hopefully it gives you a good idea of some things that are coming out. I like doing these. I like putting this list together. And obviously if there's something that I didn't mention here, it could be that I didn't know that it is coming out, in which case comment and let me know, because I'm always on the lookout for something good. These are just my picks and things that I'm excited about. So, you guys probably might have different tastes. So Interested to see what you guys are looking forward to. Vote and let me know which template you actually like the most. Whether you want to see me small so you can actually get a bigger picture of the Blu-ray or 4K, or if you'd rather have it down in the corner. That your feedback would be much appreciated as I try and figure out which way to go with it. Got some cool videos on the channel, including me building that Steelbook display, getting those Steelbooks up on the wall, and some other cool stuff. So if you guys are interested in that, check it out. There'll be some recommendations at the end of this video. And I really just want to thank everybody for checking this out. Thank you, subscribers, because you guys are awesome. And if you like this video, please like, comment, share, subscribe, do all the YouTube stuff, or don't. I'm not a beggar. I'm Geechu64, and I always tell you the truth.